Oh, what he
Hey,
said.
everybody.
Welcome to the Gravy Times. I'm Chan. That's JD. We got friends with us tonight.
What's up,
Arnold
everyone?
is with us.
Get to the chopper.
And the brink.
What's up? What? Is it
I
crazy
missed you
that like
guys.
whenever I pour a glass of water when I'm at home, I'm like, what? That's what I always think of.
That's awesome. So how is everybody tonight? It's Wednesday. It's been kind of a weird week. Anybody have any I don't know. Brian, how are you doing? What's going on? How's your week?
Things are good. Today is Wednesday. It
is Wednesday.
Feels like a Thursday or something like that.
Yeah.
And yesterday was Tuesday? Tuesday, yesterday I got a new roof put on my house.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was cool.
How'd that go?
Nice.
It went well. It took them about 8 hours.
Wow.
Well, I think they had like a 45 to hour break in the middle. It was really hot yesterday here, so could you imagine being a roofer in like 100 degrees?
No.
Heat?
Nice.
Out of all the
I
out of all the construction trades besides insulation, that's the worst.
Chewy.
Yeah. And it's crazy
Because you're on
like
a roof that's like a 45-degree angle, and your ankles are like that all day, and it just sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I just
Ryan.
realized Chan and JD are not in the same room. Like
We're not,
usual.
and
No,
you
we're
heard me
not.
yell at Chewy through his mic.
Oh,
But yeah, but
You hear Chewy
Yeah.
barking twice.
so
Mhm.
super high heat and these guys, man, I didn't realize it, but they were dressed like long sleeves, long pants, because well, I guess you don't want to get cut or something, but also you don't want the sun beating down on you all day
Yeah.
long, right? So
That's a tough one right there. I wouldn't
So
want to be. No.
yeah, they show up the night before, like right after ETR. I had a big cooler. I bought a bunch of. I think I talked about this on Monday, or
A little bit, yeah.
I don't remember. But anyway, filled that cooler up with all the whole thing of water, 16 Gatorades, like 16 sodas or whatever. And I remember when the guy came, I was like, "Look, help yourself." And he's like, "You didn't need to do that." And I was like, "Look, man, it's been 100 degrees." It's like,
Yeah.
and they drank almost all of it. And
I
the crazy thing
mean,
is, they never asked to use my bathroom, so maybe they were totally dehydrated.
no,
Or
that shit sweats right out of you.
I'm gonna find brown spots in the backyard in a couple days.
I've had plenty of hot days and just drinking gallon after gallon of water, and you never
Yeah.
go to the bathroom because you just sweat it all out.
Yeah. But yeah, man, new roof, new skylights, because they had to be replaced. They actually took out my vent fan thing. Because the guy's like, I don't know why. He's like, you got this venting at the top of the peak of your roof, which is normal. He's like, but I don't understand why I have an exhaust fan. It's like, look, it's always been there. He's like, it's not hooked up. I was like, I know, it's never been hooked up.
Gable
But,
fan.
It's
right?
like,
Yeah, it's
no,
supposed to get the hot
it's
air
a
out of your
fan
body.
on top of the roof. It looks like a spaceship on top.
Oh, okay.
Hey, and he's like, well, we took it out because it's messing up the way your roof is supposed to be venting anyway. The way I was like, oh, okay, whatever. But the funny thing is,
it was probably code at one point for them
maybe
to install those things.
Maybe built, yeah, back in 1980.
Yeah.
When this was built. But I still haven't paid for this roof. Like I expected the main guy to come back when the other guys were done. And I was like, hey, you guys waiting for Bill? And they're like, no, we're leaving. I was like, he's like, why would we wait for Bill? I was like, wow, I haven't paid. And the guy just shrugged his shoulders like, oh, it's fine. It's like, all right. And then Bill shows up at my house this morning to pick up leftover materials that they didn't use, shingles and some kind of barrier thing. And he's like, "Hey, I just want to pick this up. I mean, I'm off." And I was like, do you want to check?" He's like, he's like, "What?" I was like, "I haven't paid for this roof yet. Like right now, it's free. It's all free." He's like, "Oh, well, Debbie will something something." He's like, "Well, you got to check. You can take it to me now." So, well, how much is it in total? Because I know how much it is, but they had to replace some plywood and stuff, so it changes.
Right.
It's like, I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe, because I was so nice to them, maybe I'm going to get a roof pro bono. I mean, dude,
Wouldn't
this
that be
is not
great?
I mean, I'm sure they make money hand over fist doing roofs all summer long, and so they probably don't need my money right away. But it's like, dude, this is it's high four figures. It's almost five figures. I mean,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
like, sure, maybe they'll. I don't know.
Usually that kind of thing is like you have the office and then you have the field guys. The field guys don't have anything to do with the payment, so they'll probably be giving you a call at some point.
Yeah. Well, he's
Yeah.
like,
Not to
you're only
not to
10
burst
minutes
your
away.
bubble. But
He's like, your house is only 10 minutes away from like our main spot. He's like,
Oh,
so,
nice.
well, we'll come. Don't worry, I'll come stop by when. I was like, all right. I worked from home
Jeez, they
again
weren't even
today.
gonna start our roof without money.
Mm-mm.
Well, that's what I thought too. They didn't ask for a deposit or anything.
Wow.
yeah, we put half down when we had ours done,
Yeah.
and then half when they finished.
I was like, huh. I wonder
Well,
what's happening.
I mean, they sound like a really nice company. It sounds like you got in with some good dudes.
Yeah, I'm part of that Nextdoor app, and every time I saw people posting about roofers, that was one of the ones that everybody recommended. And then
What
a
a
friend of
great idea.
mine, she used them, and her mother used them recently, and a whole bunch of different stuff. So I was like, okay. What I like is it was one-stop shop. They were like, yes, we'll replace the skylights. You don't have to get another party in here to order them and bring them and all that
Oh,
other shit. So
nice.
That's
we'll
nice.
do it all at once. I was like, okay, cool. And they gave me a discount for paying with cash check as opposed to
Mhm.
financing. So anyway, that's what's going on with me.
Nice.
Sounds
That-
like a great week already, Brian. You're getting things
Getting
done. You're saving money. It's good stuff.
That's a
Yeah,
good
my
investment
cars.
for your house too.
Yeah. Well, it was due, Mike. It was due. I've been here since '09, and I don't know when the roof before was replaced. They said the skylights look to be the originals that came with the house, so they're 40 something years old. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was just time, and I've been putting it off for like a year. But
Mhm.
in the past 2 weeks, I had a skylight start to leak, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
it's
things are
time.
leaks waiting to happen.
I
Actually,
think it's time. So yeah. So that's that. My car runs good again. I spent money on that. Just spending money. It's crazy.
Well, sometimes you gotta get everything straight,
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
and that takes a little bit of money.
yep.
Yes.
JD and I won't be far behind you.
No.
We gotta get the roof replaced on this place soon enough, and there's some other things that need to be taken care of. So, money out of pocket. Yeah.
Better to get it fixed before it's a real problem, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
You can at least plan for that kind of stuff. You gotta.
I mean, I think we're okay for, a few more years at least.
Yeah.
I mean, when I originally bought the house, like the roof had just been replaced, maybe 5 years prior,
Mm,
and they're,
So how long?
you know,
How long
probably
you been there?
30-year shingles.
Yeah, 25 to 30 usually.
Yeah. What? Almost 15 years.
Yeah, so you're good actually. Probably got another 5 maybe.
Yeah, but we keep having
Well,
caps and all that kind of shit fly up the house.
yeah.
Fly
That-
off.
Yeah.
Well, during a really bad rainstorm like a year ago, this is why we talked to the roofer guys like a year ago, because I want to say it was probably like a month or two before they came around to give us a quote. There was a couple of caps. We came home after a bad storm, and there were a couple of caps laying in the middle of the driveway.
What do you mean? What are caps?
Like the top shingles that go over like
Yeah,
the
like
peak of the roof.
Oh,
you
those.
peak and they cap.
The
Gotcha.
ridge signals.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, those aren't really attached too well without just
No.
driving a nail right straight through it, which you're not supposed to do.
Right. So.
We'll get there.
Yep.
We'll get there. It's not like I
Oh,
still
dude.
don't think it's anything. It's not anything that I'm too stressed about. I almost would prefer to get one of those companies out that would like power wash it off and then put the sealant on it, so it gives it a little more time. You know, because that's like a new thing they're doing now, and it like gives your roof an extra 5 years. It should be kind of nice. But
So, Paul, I actually know about this. So my house, my previous place had my previous roof, same house, previous roof was 3-tab shingles. And they actually, when somebody replaced the roof on this one, they didn't take the old shingles off. They just put new
Mhm.
shingles
Oh,
on,
went over the top.
which is you're allowed to do that once as per code, I guess, or something like that. But
Yeah.
he said now I have the architectural kind. So
Ooh.
I got the 30. Yeah.
I honestly I want to put a metal roof on this place.
You talked about that last year.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. That's the main goal, the end game.
Don't power wash the roof, he says.
No, we have
It's-
people that come by every year and they have an air compressor with an air wand. And
Yeah.
they remove the moss because we're surrounded by Doug firs and we get moss like
Right.
crazy.
Mm.
That's more what I want to do. It's not like a
Yeah.
hard power wash. It's like they kind of like give it a soft wash and then blow all the extra shit off of
Yeah,
it, and then
yeah.
they put like a sealant over the shingles. It's not an
Yeah.
actual power wash like they would do to siding or something.
Yeah.
So Paul says go metal. I can't go metal here. I got a homeowner association. I have to have shit has to look right, look the same as everybody else.
Man, do you like being part of a homeowners association? Do you like that? I
Well,
mean, some people do.
It's not as my homeowner association is not as bad as others. Like for instance, we cut our own
Fuck yeah,
grass and shit. My homeowners association is $50 a year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not
Mm.
like $500 a month or whatever, right?
Yeah,
They don't do
that's-
Yeah.
They don't do anything here except maintain the front entranceway to the development and make it look all pretty, and pay for snow plowing. So they must have a surplus budget because we got no snow last year. Right? So
Nice.
yeah, they should fucking throw a party
Yeah.
agree.
Block
with
party.
that money. Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, my
Maybe
mom
I should
was part
attend.
of.
Maybe I should attend one of the meetings and be like, "Hey, what are you doing with all that snowplow money?"
There you go.
My mom was part of a homeowners association at one of her old places, and it was something stupid like $650 every like 2 months or some shit. It was fucking expensive,
Yeah.
and they didn't do anything. They were supposed to maintain all the yards and
Oh, really?
plow. They were supposed to take care of any of like the roofing because they were townhomes. You know what I mean? So it was like
Hmm.
whatever,
Weren't they
4 units per building.
Weren't they supposed to keep up with like the decks and keeping
Yep.
things clean and
Yep.
stuff like that, like out
Yep.
back? of the
Everything
places?
everything exposed outdoor was up to them. And then a lot of the places were they were built right around the like before the Quest tubing was outlawed, before that stuff was banned.
What's
Quest
Quest
tubing
tubing?
was like like the PEX plumbing stuff.
Oh yeah, the red and blue.
Yeah, so this was like
Yep.
a gray colored tubing, and
Mm-hmm.
that it eventually blows out. and they were supposed to cover any of
The
those
expenses.
any of those expenses to have any of the plumbing replaced, and they didn't do anything. They never did anything. The only thing they would do would be like to plow, you know what I mean, during the snow.
Yeah,
So like
that's
there were
ridiculous.
2 people that were in charge of it that lived in the neighborhood, and they were just like living like fucking gangsters.
That's
you
where
know.
she was living before she moved to the place she's at now, right? That's what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never lived with a homeowners association situation, so I don't know how it is. I know some people like it because there's perks and everything. Some people don't. It's whatever.
Yeah. When I was looking for a house, like some of them had them, and they're like, yeah, they cut your grass and like do your landscaping and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And some of them were relatively reasonable, $100 a month or something like that.
Right.
But some were just ridiculous.
Motherfucker.
I was like, there's no fucking way. But when I found this place, and like, I mean, I fell in love with this house like as soon as I walked in. I was like, oh yeah.
Nice.
And then like everything just started getting better and better. It's like there were no major repairs that needed to be done, and the homeowner association, I think when I first moved in, it was $25 a year,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, obviously costs have increased in the last 13
Sure.
years. And also, there's a lot of renters here. Like, people rent out their homes, and
nice.
they don't pay their dues. They're $50 a year, so that's another reason why they had to raise them. And they call people out in the newsletter, man. They list all the addresses of anyone who hasn't paid their dues. When you see these people on the street, fucking give them the crooked eye.
Yeah.
You ain't
Give me
got
some
50
side
bucks.
eye.
Yeah, really.
Give him that side eye, man.
I'll never fucking live in an HOA again. No way. I had a terrible experience in one though. When Kim and I met, we each owned our own home, and we bought a house together and rented our houses out before we met. And where I lived was an HOA. Hers was too, but it wasn't bad. And we were renting it out, and there was a young couple, and the guy was like a lineman, so he had one of those pickup trucks that has like all the toolboxes and shit on the back. Well, there's some busybody fucking old bitch walking around the neighborhood writing down all these offenses and things, and turning it all in. And somewhere in the bylaws, they say that you can't have any kind of commercial vehicle parked in your area. And so they said, oh, this guy's got to go park his shit somewhere else. I'm like, what the fuck? I said, who the fuck's reporting this? So Kim and I had to go to a meeting, and there was a big fucking beef. And I'm like, you guys are fucked. I said, so we drove around the neighborhood taking pictures of all these other cars that were like commercial cars. I said, look, have you contacted any of these fucking people? Well, somebody complained. I'm like, who complained? I said, that's not a commercial vehicle. And so they ended up having to move out, and we sold the house shortly after. So it worked out good, but goddamn, I was ready to burn that motherfucker's house down. I was so fucking mad.
Yeah.
All because somebody was offended by somebody's, and it wasn't even like a big old step van or nothing. It was just a pickup with toolboxes on the back of it.
Yeah.
Fucking retarded.
Yeah, it was like similar stuff like that at my mom's old place. The one guy that was part of the homeowners association, he had, like a fucking fifth wheel trailer that he would drag around, and it was like recreation, you know what I mean? It was like a fucking camper, and he would park it like next to the dumpster in front of my mom's place. And of course, all the parking spaces they're all numbered. Each house has 2 spaces.
Yeah, they're like condos.
Yeah. And this
I'm
guy,
not saying they don't have their place, and they are good. They don't just let you turn your yard into a goddamn you might be a redneck story.
Right.
Yeah.
But they get a little ridiculous and a little power tripping and all that kind of stuff. It's like you need to just fucking relax and mind your own business, man.
Some of them, yeah, for sure. I agree with that. But I do, like you said, I also see the perks there.
Certainly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's run correctly, you know.
Right. Wayne, I know you're in the chat. The the condo place in Mechanicsburg that JD's talking about, we actually redid one of the condos like right in the same like square little block area where she used to live.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
For the realty people's son. I know you know who I'm talking about. If you Yeah, it was kind of weird for me to pull in there.
Old Silver Springs?
Something like that. I don't remember
Yeah.
either. It was so weird to pull in there and I'm like, "Oh my god.
Back by the
Painted one of
dog
these
food
places."
place.
All right. Yeah, that was pretty wild. Yeah. Well, Brian, it sounds like things are going awesome and you're, getting some fun things taken care of, and I don't know. I love it. I love hearing progress, personally. Um I want to hear a story from Mr. Mike because this guy, everybody in the chat, this guy went on a hell of a vacation. I gotta hear about this. Mike, come on. Tell me what happened. Talk to me
Yeah.
here, man. Tell me where you went. Tell me what happened. Come on.
All right. So let me put this away here. So Kim and I had been planning this for quite a while. She's always been like wanting to go on a safari. She loves animals, specifically elephants. And I was like, yeah, she says Africa, and I'm thinking back to my military days of being in Mogadishu and shit. And I'm like, yeah, I don't need to go to Africa. But of course,
Right,
it's a
right.
totally different place. So
Sure.
we're like, yeah, let's try it. We budgeted and saved, and she used her airline miles, and she's really good about finding deals here and there, and found a like a travel agent. Like, we don't know where the fuck we want to go, so she kind of put together a bunch of options for us and told us a little bit about it, and kind of made a little path for us to go around. And we ended up flying from Seattle to New York, New York to London, London to Cape Town, which is in South Africa, the very, very bottom. And it was 6 hours, 12-hour flights. By the time we got to solid ground, I was like, I need to get the fuck off this plane. But no, it was great. We stayed about 4 days in Cape Town, just kind of walked around down there, took a few tours. And then I'm like, all right, we need to get onto the main course here. And,
Right.
The rain.
Yeah, let me.
Stop the rain.
Do you guys need to know the names of these places?
It's up to you. You can.
Yeah.
We don't.
I'll just.
Brian's like, no.
Yeah, you won't remember me anyway. So, anyway, if you look at South Africa, it's like in the upper right hand corner was the first place we went to, and it's just like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's just like everything's kind of flat, but kind of hilly too. And I'm like, this isn't really quite what I imagined. And, we got there, and they have these Jeeps that have like little bleacher seats in the back. And I'm like, well, fuck, I don't want a whole bunch of people in there with me. And it ended up being pretty cool people that was with us, and it wasn't packed. So that worked out well. But the first one was the people were really cool, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna go out and try this, and it was kind of more like a fun romp than anything super serious. Oh, there you go.
Whoa.
So if you
where in South Africa? Up here?
Okay,
Over here?
put your mouse all the way to the right. Keep going to the right. Up a little bit more. Okay, and go to the left just a hair. Oop, down too high. Down,
The S one. That one?
down.
Little...
Down. Okay, right around there somewhere is about where it was.
Huh.
But yeah, so we get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and Madikwe, is that what that was? That was the second place we went to. But go around, and you're like just driving around. You come around a corner, and here's a bunch of elephants. It's like, holy shit. So before the first place, the guy that drove us from the airport is asking us, "So what animals do you guys want to see?" And Kim's like, "Oh, elephants for sure." So we're like from the gate to the lodge is probably a 2 or 3 mile drive. And we come around this corner and there's all these like 40 elephants crossing the street. And she's like, holy shit, look at that. You know, and it was pretty
Oh my
amazing. I'm like,
God.
geez. And the guy's like, yeah, whatever, big deal, you know. But, you know, seen a million of them yesterday.
I see this every day.
Yeah. But it, I mean, to us, it was just
Yeah,
amazing. I
that
mean, they're
started killing my
massive.
connection, so turn that off.
But, no, it was, we were there for, like 4 nights there. That was the longest when we were there. But we'd, you know, come back, have breakfast, hang around for a while. They had high tea at like 3 o'clock, and then
Nice.
lunch at 1 o'clock, high tea at 3, and then you go out again for the evening. And by the time it's wintertime down there for them, so it gets dark quick. So by the time we're coming back, it's dark and they have the flashlight out and they're like all spotlight and stuff, and you see all these eyes like glowing, looking back at you, and
Ooh.
it was awesome.
Nice.
But we got along really good with our guide, and they had a little seat for the tracker on the front of the vehicles, all like looking for prints and stuff on the ground. And we saw the big five, which is Cape buffalo, lion, leopard, rhino,
Whoa.
elephant. And then we also saw the wild dog and the cheetah, which makes it the Magnificent Seven, is what they call it.
Whoa.
But it was just, it's almost impossible to explain. You just come around a corner and, oh, here's giraffes, you know, Matt's favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't get that out of my head every time I saw a giraffe. It's like, man, what's a fucking giraffe? You know. But, no, it was good. The second place we went to, it was more of like a hunting, tracking kind of a vibe. We'd go out there and there was another truck besides ours, and then there's other lodges around the area, and they're all in radio contact with each other all the time. So they go out and he's like stopping and looking for prints and stuff. And oh, there's a lion prints here, you know. And so they're like through the radio trying to track this lion down or whatever. And it's like the first one to find it is like the winner. And then okay, you guys can come in, you know, a couple at a time. So they didn't have too many people at once to stress them out or anything. But looking at them, I mean, they've been moving all night. They're tired and sleeping. They don't even give a shit. You know, they just are laying there. They're not bothered at all, which I found that to be pretty, you know, rewarding. I didn't want to like freak them out or in their own while they're doing their thing.
Right.
The third place was like the roads were way more improved, the smoother ride. There was a lot more intimate, I suppose, with the guide. There wasn't very many people, and just, oh yeah, we're gonna go out and I guarantee you'll see birds and trees. And it was just kind of a cruising around slow, not in any kind of a hurry. But we saw probably more stuff on that one than we did the first two. But
Wow.
it was just really, really cool.
That's incredible, man.
They said going in the wintertime is better because the bush isn't so thick and more animals come out to drink, which doesn't make sense to me, but that was what they said. But they're easier to find. But it was great. Very sad to come back.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. It sounds like the trip of a lifetime.
Yeah, no, it was.
That's amazing.
I wanted to see baboons really bad, and they're like, "Why the hell do you want to see baboons?" Because evidently they're.
He called off tonight. He called.
Oh, come on. Come on now.
For some reason, you know, the ones that have the red and blue faces, that species, that's my favorite. Those are in northern Africa.
Are they called mandrills?
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's something I've actually thought about getting a tattoo of one of those things, like on my shoulder, then wrapping around my arm or something.
A monkey on your back.
Yeah.
Actually, it's an ape, but
that's really cool. I was gonna ask you, like, what was your favorite part? Like, what was your favorite thing?
So this is gonna sound really old and trash and sympathetic, but the last night that we were there, the last day that we were there, we were coming out on our morning expedition, and there was a whole bunch of elephants on the side of the road, and he just like stopped, and this mother was there, and like she had this baby. And these things are so tiny. It's like, you know, still considerably heavy, but so small, and they're cute, for lack of a better manly term. All hides right underneath mom, and mom's just kind of looking at us, and it's like you can almost see the intelligence in her eye, just just looking at us, and wasn't afraid. She was just as curious as we were and stuff, and it was kind of a moment. The one that I liked the best was when we were coming back from our nighttime. Same situation. We had elephants on both sides of the road, and we didn't even hardly see them, and they just stopped. And then we saw them like with the spotlight, and he goes, "Oh, I'm just gonna stop right here." So he turned the Jeep off, turned the lights off, and you could just hear all this crunching and moving around there, like right, literally, like they could have just stampeded the shit out of us, right, if they wanted to, but they're just all chilling out and stripping the branches or stripping the leaves off the branches and eating, and not a care in the world. And the stars, I mean, you can see the night sky there like you can't see anywhere that I've ever been.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, you could literally see the Milky Way. It was so dark. But
Wow. That's amazing.
yeah. So that was kind of maybe a spiritual kind of feeling. And I'm not
Yeah.
a very spiritual person, so
Well,
I don't know. Take that for what it is.
it doesn't mean you can't feel some vibes,
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there
No,
in the
it
world.
was
That's pretty cool, man. That's
it was
awesome.
cool.
I've heard that about elephants before, that there's like an intelligence, and it's just a very interesting experience to be around them. It's
Yeah, it's
some people
almost
get pretty
tangible.
choked up.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's almost. I mean, you could literally like, because Kim was saying, I could literally feel like she's trying to communicate with me, and the guide's like, she absolutely is communicating with you. You guys just don't speak the same language, And
Mm.
she's, started tearing up and everything, which of course makes me tear up. So
Oh,
enough of
Oh,
that.
that's super cool though. I mean, it's awesome that you did that had that experience.
Yeah, it was
I'm a
great.
little jealous, but like super happy that you went.
Yeah, it was great.
Sweet. Good. Well,
We
we've
couldn't have.
just been hanging out at home, so I'm
Mm.
kidding.
Well, I have 2 hernia operations next week, if that makes you feel any better. One on
Two
each
of them.
side.
Jeez, man. From one extreme to the other, huh? No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
it's been a long time coming, though.
Yeah. These things happen.
Yep. Especially when you're dumb and you are lifting shit for your whole career.
That you shouldn't.
It's kind of hard not to, though. I mean,
Right.
there's lifting techniques, and then there's other times where you get like 5 or 6 carpenters and ironworkers on this wide flange metal beam, and everybody get up here and push as hard as you can. If anybody's not pushing as hard as they can, it's all going to kill us. It's like, oh, great.
Cool.
Why don't
Yeah.
we just use the crane?
Yeah. Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard for a long time. I
Mhm.
don't know.
Well, this was in an elevator shaft at the very top, so you couldn't really get the crane in there.
Oh.
But something else
hopefully-
could have been done.
Hopefully, whatever happens straightens you all out and you feel better.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I will take your good vibes.
So do you have like a big knot or 2 big
No,
knots?
it's not like
It's more
and
internal.
it isn't like even all the time. It's like if I like push down by my groin area, I can like feel like it coming out, and I can like push it back in.
Yeah.
So it's like that on both sides, but it's not like most of the time it doesn't bother me, but every once in a while I bend down, it's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
that's not good. So
Right.
and I'd
That's
already
weird.
gone to the surgeon before. I've already had this done one time,
Oh.
and so he has to do it again basically from the other way around. And he goes, it's you can live like this for a while, or you can get it fixed now. He says your body will probably heal better while you're still kind of young,
Mm-hmm.
rather than wait till later. So that's what I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. What's up, Tyler? Yep. Old man talk.
Old man talk. Sometimes you got to get it out,
Yeah.
That's right.
I worked with a guy, and he had a hernia in his belly that he never took care of.
Oh, yeah.
And
those
it
are
just
bad.
looked like a fist pushing out of his, like, right beside his belly button.
Oh my.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I think those are the worst kind. I'm not sure what they're called, but they're not good.
I don't know. One of my neighbors he was an older man at my old house, and he had an umbilical hernia, which is in your belly button.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool guy. We got along great.
Chief.
Well, geez, Tyler. He went to school with a kid that was born with his intestines on the outside. You win.
Yeah, I can't compete with that.
I'm just teasing.
Yikes.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
No, that doesn't
Mm-mm.
sound.
Well, JD and I didn't go to Africa or any crazy vacation. And unfortunately, we still have our old roof. But JD did have a tattoo convention like 2 weekends ago, and we went to that and took Fed along, and it was really a lot of fun. Interesting experience.
Nice.
I mentioned an ETR about the BO. That was also interesting.
It was hot as fuck in there.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Well, Sunday was the worst too. Like, it was like Friday wasn't so bad. Saturday was a little worse, and then Sunday it was like blazing hell in there. And they had all the doors open and fans running and all kinds of shit.
Mm.
And at one point they blew a breaker because, of course, all those guys have to have like everything plugged in. So they've got extension cords and power strips
just like
all over the fucking
rows
place.
and rows of electric run, you know,
Man.
and they blew one of them.
Oof.
Yeah. And if you have a tattoo machine that you have to plug in, you're kind of SOL, you know?
Yeah. Well, especially if you're halfway done.
Right.
Yeah. Luckily, all my shit runs off a battery, so I didn't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah,
Luckily.
last year was JD's 10-year anniversary tattooing, so
Oh, nice.
we all got him a new
machine.
machine that he can just
New
plug a battery
fancy
into.
machine.
I think I remember that actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've just been hanging out at home, spending time with Fen, hanging out with the dogs, trying to get things done a little bit at a time. This weather kind of took a big poop on me, so
Mm.
I'm just kind of trying to, you know, enjoy myself where I can, personally.
Is it hot there for you guys too?
Yeah, it's like a rainforest here. This humidity
Oh,
is so
boy.
fucking insane. It's like I'm fine if I'm in the air conditioner, but I step outside and it feels like the metal in my right leg is trying to rust. Like it just starts to hurt and it just
Yeah.
starts to swell up, and it's like, great, cool. I'm gonna
I'm
go back
not-
inside.
I'm like you. I am not a hot weather person. Not even a little bit.
I used to be, and I think I would be all right if the humidity wasn't there, because it's not like, it doesn't really bother me that much when it's warm. It's just like nobody really like the East Coast is like soggy, dude. It's just soggy during the summer months. Like it just feels like a hot, wet sponge outside. Like
Yeah.
it's fucking, it's so
Gross.
bad.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Pants are all sticking to your legs and shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like as soon as you walk out the door, it's like that outside. So I tend to let the dogs in and out while I'm standing at the door and just try not to be out there for very long. Is the air conditioner on in the car already before I have to walk out the door for 30 seconds and jump into the vehicle? Right.
I hate that too. the getting into the car, it's hot as shit. I'll go out there, start the truck, turn the AC all the way on, go back in,
Yeah.
sit
My-
down, chill out for a few minutes.
I used to be like, I couldn't even shut the car door until I turned the key so that like the fan was already running in the interior of the car, whether the air conditioner was cold or not yet. I just couldn't, like, I couldn't even shut the door. I was like, nope, can't.
Yeah.
But my mom's the kind of person, like, she shuts the door and she sits there for a couple of minutes and does stuff before she starts the car. And I just sit there and be like, can you just start the car? Just fucking start the car.
Okay.
Ugh.
Then to add insult to injury, you burn the shit out of your arm when you set it on the windowsill.
Yep. Yeah, there's that one. Yeah. And poor Elijah, the week of July 4th, they sent him to a landscaping job. And he didn't know. He was on his way to work inside, and they had him and the guy he was riding to work with turn around and go to this landscaping gig. And yeah, and so he didn't have hardly any water with him. He didn't have, any sun protection at all. The kid really hasn't been outdoors since last summer much. You know what I mean? So, and so, yeah, he came home. He was a little fried and dehydrated, and
Jeez, I bet.
wasn't feeling too hot.
Yeah, the next day, yeah.
Yeah, he made it through that, and he's, he changes color very rapidly though. Like he's like pale and then he's brown. It's weird. So they're probably going to be working outside more often over the summer because Steven has a whole like landscaping crew now. Yeah. That kid's doing all kinds of things. Keeping them busy.
It's good.
Yeah.
That is good.
Keep them
That's good.
moving.
Just need to get their schedule straight with their people.
That's
or maybe
about
Elijah should just keep a bag with outside clothes and inside clothes.
Well, I think he's talking about doing like a like a go bag backpack situation almost for work where he has like suntan oil in there or lotion or whatever, sun protection of some sort, maybe a long sleeve shirt or a pair of shorts in there, and some extra water just in case.
Yeah, all good
No.
ideas. Especially water.
Water.
Even if it's not hot, you need to drink water.
Mm-hmm.
I drink so much water, it's ridiculous. But yeah, it's like 10 o'clock, guys. What are we working on?
What are you working on, JD?
Probably should have. Yeah,
I'm just finishing up some things that I've had sitting here for a while, and one of those things is for Tyler. So I need to get this in the mail at some point here coming up. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Do you want to tell us what it is?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Secret.
Yep, it's a secret.
Nobody's allowed to know, so all
Nope,
of you
no
out
one.
there, don't tell anyone what it is.
I can't use the gravy cam
Why?
because there's only one USB outlet on this thing.
Oh, well, can you show it like in the camera you're on right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, I got some Cobra Commander heads and then these
Nice.
pilot helmets that I just finished. So
Oh, that's cool.
That
yeah,
is cool.
yeah. The Coco hooded.
Oh, yeah. I should send mine to you.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I do want to try. I bought a couple off of him, but I'm a little intimidated.
You'll do better than I do.
Do you ever go through this period of like you think you're pretty well on your game? I mean, I'm like I think I'm a good dabbler with painting and whatnot, But like I'll do something and I'll fuck it up, and then I'll fuck the next thing up, fuck the next thing. I was like, geez,
Mhm.
what the hell's going on, man? I just gotta
Oh yeah.
walk away from like something that worked before doesn't work now, and I don't know what the hell's the matter with me. it's
Yeah,
awfully
I
frustrating.
definitely have those. It's frustrating, yeah, for sure.
I think it's nice to have other projects to work on when that stuff happens that's outside of the medium that you're messing up with.
Yes, most
You know?
definitely.
Yep. Change of pace.
If I'm really struggling, I'll just walk away from them. Like I can't even deal with this right now. I'll just do something else. Open one of the thousands of toys that I haven't opened yet, which I got nowhere to put. I just got 2 more slogs in the mail today. That is pretty
Whoa.
damn awesome.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. The Kragnar, he's the orange one with the 4 arms.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the new hips are good, and I'm just saying this from my experience. But he is, I mean, his legs, you can almost watch him doing the splits on your shelf, boom, and falls over.
Hmm.
He
Oh
did 3
no.
shelf dives before I finally have him hooking on to one of my supports for the glass shelf above it, and he hasn't fallen yet.
Good.
But just
Well,
as we were talking to, my mythics did a shelf dive on the shelf behind me. It's like, man,
Mm.
I'm just gonna glue all these goddamn things in a pose I like, so they don't quit doing that. I mean,
no crackle.
they're the only figures besides my Motu classics that ever do that.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck, man?
Because there's no indentations in the articulation.
Yeah.
It's just smooth. A smooth articulated piece.
Like all
Well,
my
while you're
Fig
talking,
Arts and Transformers and Joes and Marvel Legends. I got Marvel Legends that shouldn't physically be able to stand by themselves, like the
Yeah.
Jean Grey with the little tiny high heel boots. I mean, I
Yeah,
managed to
yeah.
get her, and
And the fucking giant hair.
yeah.
Yeah. She should fall over.
Well, while you're telling us about your mythic legions and everything, what are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'll show you. So this is a scope from my action figure customs called the Karen.
The Karen.
One of the Karens. There's an angry Karen and a regular Karen. But I'm trying to paint her up like a fish.
Oh
I
wow.
can't remember what the fish is called. Hold on a second. It is
Is it like a clownfish or something?
Mandarin dragonfish.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wow.
And I've kind of stuck by the color scheme a little bit, and then I kind of went off on my own and did my own personal touches. But
That's cool.
this
like
is
it.
done for the most part. Now I'm just working on the. I went to Walmart and bought some plastic dinosaur toys that were $1.99, and a Stegosaurus, and I
Yeah.
cut the
Oh, the
Stegosaurus
plates.
thing. Yeah, and I
Nice.
tried to make it look like a fish scale.
Oh, cool.
That's really awesome, Mike. I like it.
And
Giving
then
it
here's
fins.
the lower torso part.
Nice.
Just trying to put a little bit of a blend on the wings and the legs. So she's gonna look awfully damn goofy when it's all done, but
Oh well.
Yep.
We all look goofy sometimes.
Even the arms.
I think it's gonna look awesome.
So,
You can say
thanks.
it'll look goofy. I think it's gonna look cool.
Thanks. That's what I'm working on.
Sweet. Brian, what are you doing?
Well,
I bet I can guess.
a couple things.
Okay.
Spreading cheeks.
While you guys were telling your stories, I was prepping the chart for friggin' Cat Slayer.
Mm.
And so I've got kind of the numbers figured out, and I got to figure out how to align the chart.
They're crowdfunding that thing, aren't they?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
3,000 in 60 days. But the thing is, so all the charts that I build typically go around 40 something days. And so their width and height, and I'm working with that Geek Dad Life channel, put stuff on his webpage, and stuff looks better when it's taller as opposed to wider. And I was thinking about maybe switching the margins up so that the dates go up and down and the backers go this way.
So that it does end up being taller
Yeah,
rather
maybe.
than longer.
Exactly. So I'm thinking about it.
Just because of the days,
Yeah,
the amount
because
of
of the
days. I
the
mean,
damn days.
yeah.
Otherwise, if I make the chart too wide, then all the text kind of gets squished. It's not gonna look good. You know, I'm trying to make it aesthetically like useful as well. So I'm not quite sure what to do. He and his wife, who do the podcasting, she manages the website. They're in San Diego right now, so they're not gonna have
Oh,
time to
wow.
publish these charts if I were to put them out like today. And I'm busy for Dave Matthews Band all weekend, so it's like, I don't know what to do.
Oh, buddy.
Well, no one's asked for Super 7 charts. It's just expected now, I think.
Well, I mean, do you have fun with it? Do you enjoy doing it still? Is it like you
Well,
good?
typically it's good, except when Monday the Dragonfly is supposed to end, so I stay up to friggin' wait and then they push it out a day. And then last night I was staying up because the numbers froze leading up to the deadline, so I wanted to stay up to get the final number. And then I got roof people coming early in the morning. I'm taking my car to service early in the
Yeah,
morning.
buddy.
I'm a little bit tired. And I gotta be doing concerts 2 days this weekend.
Brink on the go.
Goddamn Robot News is gonna be crazy with SDCC probably. It's just nuts. This hobby's driving me crazy. But anyway, I'm gonna close this fucking spreadsheet. Yeah, and then Mattel changes their crowd fund for the Jurassic Park thing because their campaign sucks. And jeez, yeah, they're like, okay, they're I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. We talked about a little bit on ETR, but you got the big gate, the big giant where Jeff Goldblum goes, what do they got in there? King Kong, whatever. Well, anyway, it's also as part of this display piece, they have the electric fences, right? But they made this fences a stretch goal. And now they're like, okay, we've listened to the fans and we're just going to include the fences in the base thing, you know. And they
Still not
announced
gonna
that
meet your deadline.
right. So they announced it today, and I think they announced it while I was driving home from what I'm going to talk about next, and I think it went up 2 backers, whatever. See,
Jeez.
one of the problems I think Mattel has is like with their crowdfund stuff, they don't market it enough. It's like they make a YouTube channel that goes out to their they make a video that goes out to their YouTube channel, but who the hell wants to go to a Mattel YouTube channel? No one's subscribed. No one cares. Mattel makes great toys like that Jurassic Park line. People really like it. To fucking advertise that shit in the goddamn toy aisle so people know that this damn thing exists. I mean,
Right.
you know what?
I agree with
Because you
you.
know what Mattel's known for? Fucking Hot Wheels and Barbie. Other
Yeah,
people
yeah.
who buy the
Yeah.
toys that we buy, they're not following Mattel on Twitter. They're not following Mattel on anything. It's like,
You're
what am I gonna
fair.
do? Get Barbie news? Get fucking Hot Wheels news? No, I'm
You're
not
right.
following you. I mean, they got a problem. They need to get that shit out there. They need to pay for the Facebook ads to show up. They need to do all that shit. But who knows? I don't think anybody knows about this goddamn crowdfund, except for like the small inner circles. And the inner circle's so small.
the people that have
People
funded
just,
it and the
it's mostly
people
people
laughing
just
at it.
shitting on it because of the prices is
Laughing
whack.
at it.
Yeah. So, I mean, come on, Mattel. The funny thing
Yeah.
is they made a nice video of them explaining it. They used this influencer. Her name is Trish something. She did the Eternia one as well. And I gotta say, like, I don't follow a lot of like super duper influencers on the internet, but this girl she's a good pitch person. Like she was talking about not only the Eternia last year, but this Jurassic Park gate. I mean, she must have studied up on that script. She had no hiccups, and she was talking about it as if she was an actual fan of that shit. You know, I was
Wow.
like, she's like fucking Billy Mays or whatever with the Sham Wow, or I don't know, I'm probably getting that all messed up. You know what I mean? But she was like
Yeah.
really good. Yeah. I ended up
ShamWow.
I ended up following her on YouTube. Uh, just to see, because I had no idea which, and it's like video games and pop culture. So I was like, all right, I'm not into this. It's like, so yeah, I stopped. But anyway, she did a good job. Oh, back to what I'm working on. So I talked about this popcorn bucket from Optimus Prime thing that I talked about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you put yourself on the big screen, Brian?
Oh,
I
you
can't
know
see.
what, Mike, you've been big the whole time while I'm going on my rant, and
Yeah,
it's
nobody
terrible.
wants to see that shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
quit it.
so anyway, here it is. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that thing's pretty cool.
So
I like
took the
that.
trailer off, just 4 screws. And
Are those straws?
yeah, they're straws. This is a drink. You can put your drink in here. And then you sip
Oh
up the
my.
drink with the straws. It's great.
I think that's
I
pretty
mean, this thing
clever.
would be a pain in the ass to clean, but yeah. So anyway, uh, I was looking at it, and I think it's possible. Where gonna cut it off right there. This still has 2 screw holes to fit in the back of the trailer. And then this screw hole right there,
Yeah.
I am going to align right about there. So,
Ah.
and, we can
Yeah.
the drive. So we got a brand new Hobby Lobby here in the last couple months. Big fucking news. So I went for the
Whoa.
first time today, and I got my polystyrene thingy bobs to make the trailer hitch doodad.
Sweet.
Oh,
And
nice.
I bought some styrene sheets
Mm-hmm.
to basically cut out and glue to the top of this.
Yep. Give yourself
Eh,
a plate.
That's right. And JD, I did buy some paint. So I have some acrylic blue paint, which I think will match that. But also, I bought this just for fun. It's blue paint, but it's airbrush paint. And because you had always said airbrush paint's kind of cool, you don't have to water it down, stuff like that. So I figured I'd play around with that.
Nice.
I mean, usually the craft paint is thin enough that you're going to be doing a bunch of layers anyway.
All right, well, maybe I'll just give you some airbrush paint for being my friend.
Oh,
I bought a
Aw.
ruler because I can't. I
That's
know I have
nice.
one in this house, but I can't find one. I bought the paint brushes that comes with a foam thingy bob too. I actually bought a mechanical pencil because also I don't know if I have a pencil in this house. I bought this thing so I can draw the circles that I need. There's actually a 1/4-inch circle, which is what I'm looking for. So I figured I can use that in the future. And then also they had these crazy root beer candies, so I thought that was gonna be really cool.
Ooh,
old
I love
fashioned.
root beer candy. Mmm.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I don't have any more in here.
I need to find my jeweler's saw to cut this thing up, and that's what I'm be doing.
Nice.
Super
Very
sweet,
nice.
dude.
So
What are
either
you
that or
working on,
work
Chan?
spreadsheets.
I am working on a super secret project for a friend. It is for a birthday present for a young person.
Uh-huh.
How young?
Like a kid. Like a young kid.
How old's your friend?
Our age. It's
Are
for
they
their
related?
kid.
Okay,
It's
there
for
you go.
It's for their kid. Yeah. So I'm just I'm doodling, fellas. Doodling around.
Doodling.
Yeah. So I'm trying to work on that because I this is actually something that I used to do years ago. So
Doodling.
yeah, I should probably try to keep doodling around.
Yep. I'm doodling.
So that's me. That's what I'm
You know
doing.
what?
I'm doodling around.
I just recently I bought an oscillating multi-tool
Ooh.
a while back last year. I should go dig that fucking thing out to saw this thing off. That will be fun. It's battery operated. I can do it
Oh,
right here.
yeah, that thing will vibrate your fucking arm off.
Dude, it would probably get through this so fast. I don't want to mutilate it though. But I kind of
No.
want to.
Kinda want to.
Let's play a game.
What?
Fuck it, I'm doing it. All right.
Do it. It'll be faster. You know you want to.
Yeah, otherwise I'm gonna be
Just
sitting here
makes
with a
sense.
jeweler saw.
Just keep
Which-
your hand out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be back.
Okay.
That blade hates everything it comes in contact with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to make a mess though. Oh, you know what? I should
Eh.
get my cereal things.
You might make a little bit of a mess. Sometimes you.
Yeah, you're gonna end up with shavings and whatnot.
Sometimes a little bit of a mess is okay. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just doodling around. That's what I got going on here. Mike's painting. Brian's disassembling.
No disassemble.
JD's painting. What's everybody in the chat doing? Is there anybody in the chat still? You guys still there?
Paul, Tyler.
Anyone?
Testing. 1, 2.
No.
Can anyone hear me out there? Hello.
Was it like a 20-second gap from
Maybe.
the time you type to when we see it?
Yeah.
Could very well be. It's been a while since I drew. You know, the guy was working on that piece for JD's parents and kind of took a break from it because it has been a while and I was getting a little frustrated.
Well, you gotta keep on it.
I know. Keep on keeping on.
Paul is sorting through everything in the new workshop.
Whoa. That's a lot, buddy.
Get some some Tim Toolman.
Tim told me that's what I was just going to say.
I used to really like that show.
That was all right, yeah. I haven't watched a lot of old movies or old TV shows in a while. People keep telling me not to go back and watch anything because it just doesn't hold up anymore.
Time has ruined it.
So I don't. He's trying to figure out a paint rack. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Before I came up here, I was kind of clicking through the channels, and Kim was just finishing up work, and I stopped on the A-Team. I'm like, oh, here we go. Little B.A. Baracus and Face Man and all that, Murdoch.
Yeah.
It didn't quite hold up like I remembered. It used to be my
No.
favorite show, hands down, and it was just like,
Yeah.
the cheese factor is quite significant right now. And my wife's like, are you watching this? I'm like, I'm kind of listening to it. She goes, that doesn't qualify. Give me the remote.
That's funny. JD has had me watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And I'm having a really hard time watching it sometimes. because first off, they're like the worst people that have ever existed. Like, they're all terrible, awful human beings. They say the worst things. They treat each other horribly.
They treat everyone horribly.
Sounds like that.
Yeah.
Sounds like that Succession show.
It's yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've caught an episode or two of that, and it's like that, but like if you turned it into a sitcom where people had no money.
Oh, like the dire polar opposite.
Yeah, I mean, other than like they're just absolutely horrible to each other, and it has a little more of a comedic spin than the drama shit.
So,
But it's
yeah.
just they're terrible. Oh my god. And I also, I'm sorry, Dad, if you ever hear this, but I'm having a secondary hard time watching this show because Danny DeVito is my dad.
In
Like,
that show.
my father's gestures, behaviors, conversation rhythms, the t-shirts,
Oh,
the colors of the t-shirts, his hair, the glasses. I just see my dad
very
every
similar,
time. Every time I watch the show, I'm like, I'm watching. This is my dad, and I know I just said they're all horrible, and I don't mean that in any bad way. It's just there's just so much of my father happening when I watch it that it's kind of freaking me out a little bit on occasion. I'm like, ah.
That's understandable.
Have you ever seen something on TV that reminded you so much of someone that it was sort of hard to watch?
Yeah.
Yeah? Uh-oh.
There's a
Great.
no one's specific. I can't remember what show it was, but there was a guy that looked very similar to my younger brother,
Oh?
and his mannerisms, just like what you were just talking about, reminded me very much of him, and it was kind of disturbing because he did himself in quite a few years ago. And it's like watching a ghost on TV. It's like, I don't really need to watch this.
Yikes. Yeah, that's tough. That's definitely tough.
Yeah. Good old methamphetamines.
Yeah.
Stay away, kids. Stay away.
For sure. For sure.
I'll be right
I've
back.
never
I gotta
touched
grab
him.
a color.
I've never touched him, Mike. I'm a good kid.
Very good. I haven't either. I've done got enough weed to keep this whole state stoned for about a year when I was younger. Dabbled in some mushrooms and some bladder acid. Never really got into pills.
Nah.
It just seems stupid to me. There was a party I was at one time where like, oh, hey, we got some coke. You want to do a line? And I'm like, yeah, okay, what the hell? I'll try it. And it just felt like I had this loogie that wouldn't go down the back of my throat. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You fucking pay for this shit? I can't fucking stand this feeling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how much did that fucking cost?
Gross.
You know? And he's like, oh, this little ball here was like $150. I'm like, fuck, you can keep that. I can fucking be stoned for fucking 2 weeks on $150. So luckily I wasn't in, I must have gotten some bad stuff or who knows what the hell. But
Well, you learned your lesson. You do your own thing now.
But I never did anything harder than that.
Right. The silly
Definitely
things we do when we're children.
Yeah, definitely nothing with needles. Fuck that shit. I don't even like needles now.
No, I don't watch it. You know what I mean? They need to take blood or something like that. I just don't watch.
I don't either.
They put in an IV. I just turn my head. I just don't even,
That's me too. It's like, hurry up.
Yep. It doesn't really affect me one way or another, but I don't want to watch, like no. I'm just like, so it might affect me like a little bit negatively, but I don't want to see it. It's fine.
Yeah.
You do what you gotta do.
I don't really have a phobia for like blood. Like if I see somebody else, it doesn't like bother me. I mean, it'd be bothering to see it, but I would still be able to act if it was a life and death situation. But
Same, yeah.
like my own, like you can, because when they're drawing blood, you can literally feel it leaving your body. So when you get the
Mhm.
visual to go along with it, it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Mhm.
I didn't need to look at that.
Right. Yeah,
I would have
exactly.
been just fine not seeing that.
Not seeing it. I'm good. Yeah.
The only time that ever bothered me, my doctor, he drew 2 tubes of blood because I had mono. And when
How old were you?
I don't know, like 14, 15.
Okay, go ahead.
And he pulled the first tube out, and the whatever the receptacle that the needle was in, I guess, didn't close properly, and my blood just
Oh, Jesus.
right out of the, there's this thing hanging out of my arm, and it just goes like
Oh.
3 times. He's like, "Oh, that's not supposed to happen," and he clicks the other one back in, and it fills that one, and then he like pulled it out, and everything was fine.
That's
But yeah, it got like, I got all, I was like, because there's my blood on the wall, like,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's not supposed to happen.
that's not supposed to happen. Oh, doc.
It is happening,
It-
and so let's
happened.
deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say that's
Check
ever
out-
happened.
Check out my new DeWalt tools.
Wow.
Is it a faux pas to use Black & Decker drill bits with a
I don't know.
Nah, whatever works. Whatever's clever, Brian.
I need to get one of those multi-tools. They always
Well,
have
yes.
one at work for us to use, but I want one on my own.
Yes, that's
pretty
the
slick.
drill. I just wanted to get the battery off of it. But yeah, man, look at this thing.
Those things are excellent for doing trim work, like if
Mhm.
hard to reach areas and whatnot.
It's got like, and it came with one blade, so
That's because
I-
those blades are super expensive.
I bought a
Oh.
dude, on Amazon, man, I found one that had like a whole shit ton of parts for super cheap.
Oh,
So yeah, I'm gonna break one out. I'm gonna use this one. Look at that. Take it out of the package.
yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, we have one, but it's is it DeWalt? I don't think it's DeWalt.
Mm,
Have you used that before,
No.
Brian?
ours is
Yeah,
rigid.
I
Right.
cut some wood
Oh, okay.
for it recently because the roofers were coming and they had to go out on my deck and stuff, and I have some boards on my deck that need to be replaced, so
Oh,
I bought a sheet of plywood, cut it up into little spots, and screwed it down on all the weak boards
Oh,
so their feet wouldn't fall through on a couple spots.
Nice.
Yeah, I got
that's
I got some
very, very considerate of you.
Yeah, you're
Well,
a
yeah,
very
man.
considerate person,
Most
Brian.
people wouldn't even give a
Seriously.
shit.
Right.
Well, these are things I should have taken care of in the last couple of years, but
Well, you'd be surprised what people let go of and don't take care of.
Yeah.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put this in the bag while I cut it so that all the shavings and shit stay in the bag.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
And I guess this doesn't matter which wrist it goes on.
God damn it.
What doesn't?
Hmm?
What doesn't matter?
Just like looking at some of the parts that I need to put this guy back together. And yeah, he has like a wrist guard thing, and it doesn't look like it really matters what wrist it goes on.
Very quiet. Oh, maybe
That's
not.
not bad.
Ours is like super fucking loud.
Yeah.
Ours
Yeah.
ours isn't battery operated though either. It plugs in.
Mm-mm.
So this I bought with points. So we have like an employee reward site, and during the pandemic I was fucking working like maniacs, and I kept earning all these nominations for rewards and stuff, and so I just let the points accumulate, and basically it was this, an impact driver, that power drill, 2 batteries, a nice bag that all comes in, and that's what I spent with my points.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh,
It's a
Yeah.
good,
cool.
good purchase.
Yeah.
So I'll do it this way. This way.
Yeah, I usually stay away from the ball.
Paul said, just a
Hosea?
quick note, Yankee candle jars fucking explode when they hit concrete floors.
Oh yeah, they do.
Oh.
WTF.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Somebody did the dog do that?
I mean, you can. I mean, I've blamed a fart on a dog. I guess you could. Sorry.
Hey, Brian.
I'm gonna get some eye protection. What's that?
I know you know
Question.
your business and everything.
Okay.
Um,
Well, what kind of
it would
business?
be a lot safer if you actually put that truck flat down on the table, held it with one hand, and then used your other hand to cut it. Because I'm afraid you're gonna cut yourself doing what you're getting ready to do.
Okay, Mike.
Even
I
if you
will
have to
heed your
vacuum it up,
advice.
even if you have to vacuum it up later, you'll get a nicer
That's
cut.
true. I guess I could vacuum it later. All right, fine. I don't want to. I'll heed your advice. You're more skilled at this than me.
It's not
I've
going to
only
make
used this saw
that much
once.
of a mess.
Safety first.
Yes.
Safety first. Nice. Sometimes you gotta, man.
There
You
you
gotta
go.
goggle up.
There you go.
Goggle up.
Wow, that was fast.
That was fast. That was really fast.
Good
Not
job,
a whole
Brian.
lot of mess.
Boy,
Yeah.
like a hot
Okay.
knife through butter.
Yeah.
Woo!
There's no particulate. Oh, there's a little few things. But... Oh, I got a sanding attachment. Maybe I'll sand this up now.
Nice.
Not much to that.
Power
Clean it up.
tool,
Right there.
power tool addict. That made a nice cut.
Oh, it kind of melted the plastic a little bit.
Yeah. That sounds about right. A little melty.
Super quick.
Nothing wrong with melting a little plastic.
No.
Nope.
Just to be safe, take the battery off before I change the part.
Oh, guys, I'm just doodling away over here.
Good.
Get that sanding attachment.
I'm at that point. What do I do next?
Yeah.
Like everything kind of looks okay, but I kind of want to do a little touching up on it, but I'm not sure what I want to do. What I should do is let this wash dry completely before I keep
I was gonna say let it dry
messing
first.
with it. Yeah, it might look different in the morning.
So check out, it's got this sanding attachment. This.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, you
The
can get in the
pads.
corners and stuff with that
Mhm.
that shape.
We got all kinds of stuff going on here tonight. Even a little construction.
Yeah. Let's see, do I want to do black first?
Mhm.
The bad and black. Or actually, let's do that later. Sorry if I'm talking to myself. Sometimes I do that.
That's
It's
all
okay.
right.
When I
My only
when I make
request is
charts.
that you do it loud enough we can hear. That's my only request.
I was talking to Chan. Come on. Really.
See,
So
I
check
got
out
your
this
back, man.
check out this attachment thing. It's
What is it?
this
Is it a
attachment.
sponge?
So
Oh
no,
yeah.
but this is Velcro, and this is it's kind of
Oh, there you go.
cottony. So then it just Velcros to it.
That's sweet. Very
Yeah,
cool.
it's kind of
Nice.
cool.
Easy to swap out.
I dig it. I dig it.
Hot pocket.
Yep. So now you're gonna sand the plastic off.
Yep, I'm gonna just make it a little smooth. Cause why not? While I'm here.
Right, right. Pretty it up a little bit while you're at it. How's
Wow,
that?
man, these things are great. God, that was fucking. This is easy.
It happened really quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I recommend everybody get an oscillating multi-tool. Who
Who
knows? You might find an attachment you really like for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going there.
Mm-hmm.
That's got nothing to do with me. That's weird.
So JD, you said you're not a DeWalt fan?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. I don't prefer them.
My dad was always a Black and Decker fan, also a Radio Shack fan. It was like, I guess Black and Decker was more of like a Sears thing. You know how old
Yeah.
people are
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
Sears. But then he started to really hate DeWalt because he's a NASCAR fan, or at least he was, and he didn't like the driver for the DeWalt car.
Oh,
That's a great reason.
yeah.
I can't remember his name. I want to say, I don't know. So I think he partly blamed that guy. I don't know. He said that guy was always going after his favorite driver and stuff like that. Who used to drive the DeWalt car? It wasn't Kevin Harvick. It
I don't know.
was.
I know Richard Petty, and that's about it.
Oh, that's way out there, man.
Yeah. Showing my age there.
I don't know. I used to work at a bar, like a sports bar. They did NASCAR on, NASCAR Sundays or whatever, and I would run cocktail for those people. They had like a big party all the time, and they were all like, it's like Dale Earnhardt, and I can't remember half of them anymore. It's been a long time. There's a lot of that going on. I had my fill of it.
That's something I never really got into.
Me either.
Nope.
I did used to love IndyCar though. I did. I'm not gonna lie. I do like races.
Yeah, I was a big IndyCar fan as well. Me and my dad would watch that.
I really like the F1s. Those are pretty cool.
My dad.
Yeah,
liked
that's not bad
Michael
either.
0 to
Andretti.
200 in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, Andretti, man.
I was a Al Unser Jr. fan who, after he was done racing, actually turned out to be a bit of a douchebag, which kind of sucks. Yeah, that was always fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure out who drove that car. It's the DeWalt car, number 17. I want to remember.
Let's see, I can go.
No, I like Rigid and Milwaukee.
I like Milwaukee a lot too. DeWalt happens to be my biggest collection of cordless tools, so it'd be kind of senseless to start over.
Yeah.
I love my circular saw, but mine's electric and it's DeWalt. I love it. I think I still have my old electric drill sitting around somewhere. Wayne was always a Porter cable guy. He used Porter cable on the job site all the time. I'll never forget that. I don't know why. Maybe I'm weird.
You're
I didn't
weird.
really recall any tools, whatever brand name, that was so bad that I remembered it. Like, I'll never use that again.
Ryobi.
No, if you treat them good, they'll treat
That's
you good.
is that
No.
really a
Ryobi is fucking trash.
Oh, I don't have any Ryobi stuff.
I ended up with a Ryobi set, cordless set. They don't encase their motors. So like you use a sawzall or the circular saw, and all of the dust that may or may not blow around in your workspace gets in that motor and it locks it up.
Oh, that's
That's
not very
not-
good
that's
design.
I
not-
went
nice.
through 3 of those fucking sets, and then I'm like, you know what? I don't want this shit. Just give me my money back, and I'm gonna get something else because this is junk.
Christopher Bell, does that sound familiar, Brian?
No, that's not it.
Joe Gibbs?
No. He was a race car owner. He might have owned
Oh.
one.
Matt Kenseth?
That's it. That's
Okay.
it. Matt Kenseth.
I typed
Oh,
in
yeah, I remember that guy.
DeWalt NASCAR driver, and it's her name.
Yeah, well, this was a long time ago, so I'm sure it's a different driver by now.
Right.
Like 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that name sounds familiar to me, and I really wasn't a big NASCAR fan, but you know, working those parties on Sundays is you kind of pick up on stuff.
Oh boy.
I didn't mind working at a sports bar. It was kind of fun. I was never really a big sports fan, but like, you know, it's fun to be around people who are excited about something and they love it. You know, they're
The real question is, did you wear a sports bra in the sports bar?
No, I wore a push-up bra and I had on a referee shirt with a zipper that showed my cleavage.
Okay, fair enough.
Get those tips.
I gotta make money, man. Gotta make money. If you had tits, you'd do the same thing. I don't care.
Yep, probably.
You can't lie.
Probably
I know
not
it.
wrong. You're not
I
wrong.
know. So you do what you gotta do, you know.
Yep.
A little black cheerleader skirt, some push down socks that are all fluffy, and some high top Reeboks. It's a good time. I was 20, 21. Yeah. Gotta make that dough. Gotta buy some weed. Gotta grab some beers. Have money to go to the bar on the weekends. And that I didn't work at. I had my party years before I had my kids. I had good times.
Oh yeah. Ryobi 10-inch chop saw that's about 15 years old that I beat the shit out of and still cuts straight nuts.
Nice.
My chop saw that I have is a DeWalt, and it's kind of the point now where it's the same problem you're talking about, JD. Like sawdust gets inside the
Housing.
like the cooling vents that are on the outside of the motor.
Yeah.
And I've got to smack it every once in a while, loosen the sawdust up, so because it'll literally lock up. I've had to take it apart several times and just blow it out with the air compressor, and it'll last for, I don't know, 4 or 5 more hours of cutting before I have to do it again.
Paul says he has a Ryobi 10-inch chop saw that is about 15 years old that he's beat the shit out of, and it still cuts straight. Nuts. Got a driver and a drill still kicking after 5. Sorry, I can't talk. Some dickhead that I dated years and years ago stole my tools out of my shed. So my buddy Carl gave me my DeWalt set that both my drill and my circular saw that I am now. Still wasn't. I mean, I had a bunch of other tools. It's fine. JD has a lot of tools, so if I need something, it's fine. I did like having my own though. I do enjoy a nice Sunday at Home Depot looking around at the tools and such.
It's hard for me to get out of there without buying something I don't need.
Usually, yeah, that's kind of how Sundays go for us.
Well, sometimes like I'll go there and I'll buy what I'm supposed to buy. Then I'm like, oh, I'll just pick up a pack of Sawzall blades, which I get free from work anyway. But you know, they're not
You're
really
there.
mine. Yeah. But it's like, oh, I'll just pick that up, or I'll pick up a new skill saw blade, or just one or a new tape measure, or something, just little things here and there. So whenever like I'll have a backup, it's
Right.
like, oh, I'm sure glad I bought that instead of trying to buy all that crap at once. It's a little easier.
I get it. I do, however, sometimes miss like Wayne had a work van, so it was like I just walk out to the work van and everything's right there. Like
Yeah.
you're doing a project around the house and you're like, shit.
Where is it?
Speaking of crazy tools, these roofers, they had this like mini dumpster on a hydraulic lift.
Oh yeah, you were saying something about that.
And they lifted it right up like to the edge of my house so that it was easier for them to do cleanup and stuff when they were ripping off the shingles. And they were just like, they had like these little metal ramps on it too, so you could just like slide shit down. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's awesome.
That's a sign of a good roofing crew if they actually give a shit about cleaning their mess up and not getting it all over your bushes and shit.
Yeah, they had tarps down and everything, and
Wow.
I only found two nails. There's one in the street where they unloaded the little dumpster into the big dumpster, and then there was one like by my flower bed. But they had these like things that they were walking around. I guess they were like with magnets on it.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty awesome.
It's amazing how much trash is generated when they fucking rip that roof off.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
I had no idea. Alright, well, the trailer's done at least.
Awesome.
Now to start measuring and
I used to like watching them do roofs. Like Wayne and I used to work in a housing development, and I'd watch them pour foundations and put up framing and, put roofs on and just like all the. I did enjoy watching that stuff happen. It's kind of like magic.
You liked watching the pretty Amish boys.
Oh yeah, they're
running around without their shirts.
Those Amish boys are woo. Let me tell you,
wearing their Daisy Dukes up on the roof.
Good Lord. They are all Amish out here, though. Like, well, the one at the development, they were all Amish.
The guys that do a lot of our roofing crews, like at work, look like they're part of a what's it called when you're getting out of jail for good behavior?
Oh, they're on work release.
Yeah, something like that, or a motorcycle gang.
Yeah,
but they're all bust-ass workers and they're really friendly, so can't judge them by what they look like. But they do look a little rough around the edges.
Well, you spend that much time out in the sun, you start looking.
Oh, geez, yeah.
You start looking a little haggard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know what?
I spent a lot of time out in the sun. I just look tan.
Or if you come over here, you spend too much time outside and you'll start rusting away.
Well, I mean...
It has been pretty hot lately, though. Uncharacteristically.
Do you think that has something to do with those, like, wildfires? I don't
know. Possible.
The ice caps are melting or some shit.
Those wildfires are still going, man. That shit's bad.
The last couple of years has been pretty warm around this time of year, but I remember like the end of like right into August, the middle of August was the hottest part, and then that would go into September, and then start cooling down once you get into October. But it was never overly hot in June or July. Who knows? Who cares?
He's okay. Paul says I've switched to DeWalt, but they come out every once in a while as spares. Just remember buying power tools from Home Depot, and they have their own SKUs direct from manufacturer that are made cheaper quality of parts.
Yep.
Dude, I hate to tell you this, but that's pretty much all
Everything.
major stores.
Your-
Walmart, Target,
anything that you buy from them.
all
Anything.
of them.
Appliances, tools.
It's a thing. It's a whole thing. I guess it would be like toys, you know? You're getting third-party stuff because you're buying it from a wholesaler almost.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Like, this laptop that I'm using now that I bought while I was sitting at your dining room table
Oh yeah,
that one year.
yeah, I remember that. That was
It's a Dell, but I bought it off of Amazon, and it was a specific SKU for Amazon because like I couldn't find it exactly on their website and stuff like that.
right. Yep. That's how it is now. Everything's made specifically for the store you're buying it from.
This thing's
I
gonna
love
look goofy as shit when I'm
Love
done.
this thing.
Mike, I'm telling you, I think it's gonna be fucking awesome. I'm serious. That's a great idea. That's fun.
I really like the head sculpt. I'm pretty happy with that.
Scissors.
I'm definitely. I want to see what it looks like when it's done. I have to.
Oh, I'll load it in the gravy chat when I finish.
Nice. Because I
The thing
like.
with-
I love fish. Anything pretty much. You know, like the Japanese paintings, like all that stuff. I just think it's cool.
Yeah, I like
Finding
it.
Nemo. You know.
My wife thought that's the first thing she said when she saw the color scheme is, oh, it looks like Finding Nemo.
A little bit. Yeah, that's why
It does
my
look like a
first. Yeah, clownfish.
Yeah.
That was my first guess. I like a clownfish. I just don't think I could have a saltwater tank. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Keeping
used
the
to-
correct pH, correct temperature.
Yeah.
I've never had a marine tank, but I've heard from people that do that they're very finicky until they get established. So once they get established, they almost take care of themselves. But it takes
Yeah.
a long time to get to that point. I just did like freshwater cichlids, South American cichlids, which
Right.
could basically survive in a mud puddle if they had to.
Right,
So
right.
it was they were just all jerks though, and then the African cichlids are even bigger jerks. They just chase around all the other like friendly community fish and kill them. It's like, well, shit. So I'm left with a 155-gallon tank with one Oscar and a Picasso medicine, and that's it.
Jeez.
It's like the tank of death. I can't put anything else in there.
I had I don't think they're saltwater, but I had tiny catfish. They called them sharks, but they
Oh,
were tiny
no.
catfish. I don't think they're saltwater.
No,
I think I
that's
know
not
what you're talking
saltwater.
about. They're tetras of some kind of.
They call it I don't know why they call them sharks when you go, to look for them, but they're definitely not sharks.
Yeah.
They have like the long whiskers and stuff like that. They're just really small catfish. And
I
had
know
those
exactly
for a
what
while.
you're talking about, but I can't.
Remember what they're called.
No.
Yeah, I can't either. But I had like silver ones, and like they come in all different colors, and they're real pretty, and they look really nice in a tank. And we had a tank in the
fuck are those
wall
called?
in our We had a tank in the wall in our basement when the kids were really little at our old house. And we had catfish in it. That was pretty cool. People like to come and see it. You know, like kids would sit downstairs and watch and, ooh, fishes. You know, they were little kids. Haven't had a fish tank since, I don't think.
Yeah, you have.
Oh, I had Cletus.
Mm-hmm.
But
Cletus.
my kids don't think that counts because Cletus was my friend and I took care of him better than I took care of them, they say.
Well,
I loved him more than them or some crap. I don't know. This is a bunch of bullshit. He was a cool fish. He really was. Still miss that guy. It's weird to say that about a fish.
Not weird. You get used to him.
he was your buddy.
The Oscar that I had, my brother would come over and we'd play video games and shit all night, and we'd turn all the lights off, and he would see his reflection in the glass, and he'd start charging a tank and fucking, god damn.
Oh,
He's
man.
like, dude, what's wrong with your fish? I'm like, I don't know. You turn the lights back on, and he stopped. I'm like, I think he can see his reflection, and then we
He's
figured
getting
out
mad
that's what
about it,
was.
yeah.
Oh,
He's-
Jesus Christ.
Oh, he-
Water was all over the place, and
No, I tell people all the time, no one ever believes me until they see it, but pretty sure JD thought I was crazy, but Cletus used to sit and watch TV with me. And then he would, like, if I went up to the tank, he'd swim up to the edge of the tank and look at me and, like, blow bubbles and move his lips around. I think he was trying to talk to me. It's just, you know.
He did.
And
I
I s-
witnessed it.
I know I sound like a crazy
funny.
person, but
Yeah.
pretty sure JD was like, sure, the first time I mentioned it. And then he witnessed it and he was like, he really is like trying to communicate with you. And I'm like, I told you this. Like,
yeah, I don't doubt that at
He's
all.
sitting here watching Star Wars with us.
Yep.
I had
Yeah.
a few tanks going at the same time, and every time I'd go over there like to feed them, they all came right up to the top. They knew what time it was,
Oh, hell yeah.
but never had like they had these algae wafers that I'd feed to the Oscar and a few other ones, and I could put it like right in the water, and he'd actually grab it right out of my mouth. Like
Oh,
take the head
wow.
would come out of the water and grab it and go back down. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was fun to have a fish too. I had never had a pet as an adult. I grew up with a lot of pets and just didn't want one as a grown person, you know?
Yeah, they are quite it's a lot of work.
I was in my teens and my mom put the cat litter box in my closet. I mean, that was a bad experience, you know. Things like that just kind of turned me away from wanting pets because I had like an overload of animals in my young life, and it was, I think at one point we had a dog, 2 cats, 2 guinea pigs. My sister had a snake. We had, my mom was raising mice for the snake. I had one of the mice in an aquarium in my room that I adopted her, saved her from the snake. My mom had 2 birds, 2 lovebirds. My sister had a rabbit, and we had a fish tank full of goldfish pretty much all the time. And we lived in a trailer. You know, it was a lot. So as an
Wow, it's like
adult, I was like, I'm good. I'm good.
That's like a mobile zoo.
Yeah, I've had this experience. I'm good. I'm fine. And then with the kids, it was always like, when you guys can handle your own shit, we'll add something else to take care of.
Yeah.
And that might have been mean, but I just,
No, I mean,
I didn't want an animal to go through any kind of neglect. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So,
Yeah. I'm not afraid of snakes by any means, but I don't know if I'd really want to be living with one.
it
Just
was
on
a
the off
weird,
chance that it would get out.
yeah, I mean, it was okay.
Snake
Like,
on
it's
my
just,
deck 2 nights ago.
oh,
Wow.
nice.
it was interesting. My sister named it Khan. It was, it was a
Con?
yeah.
Like the Wrath of Khan.
No,
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 from the
no.
Jungle
I'm
Book,
sorry,
right?
I said it wrong.
Cobra
She
Con?
named it. No, she named it Ka. Sorry, it's Ka.
Ka.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and it was a ball python. It wasn't anything. At that point in time, everybody had a fucking snake. It was the early 90s. You know what I mean? Like, for some reason, people had, like, snakes and spiders and all these weird pets. That was a thing. But she took good care of it. She had it for a long time. She
I went
she
through a
left
little.
and went to college and still had it. Go ahead. Sorry.
I went through a little phase of that. One time, I went to when I got out of the Navy. I was like, oh, it'd be cool to have a scorpion for a pet, like a big emperor scorpion. Just I'm like, I'm just gonna go check it out. I wasn't quite convinced that that's what I wanted. So I went to the store and I was looking at it, and she goes, "Oh yeah, these are really cool." And she, got it out of the tank and set it down on the desk right where the register was, and it started scuttling towards me, and I'm like, "Whoa!" And she goes, "Oh, grab it, grab it. You won't sting you." I'm like, "Fuck that!"
Yeah.
And like went and like landed in the dog treats, and then she came around the thing and got it, and it was okay. But I'm like, "Yeah, I think I'm good. I don't need that goddamn. Who needs to get stung by a scorpion?" But those things just sit there and hide in their tank all day and don't even do anything. So it's like, it's kind of.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about scorpions.
I had a friend who had a tarantula that was cool, but he'd like get it out and it'd crawl on you and stuff. But I wasn't super big into having a spider either.
No, I don't think I could have handled that. I have issues with spiders anyway.
You know what's crazy about tarantula? Like, it's a bug, right? Like,
arachnid.
What would it feel like if you stepped on it? Like, that would freak me out.
I mean, it would be crunchy.
Yeah, but it's not like when you step on a normal bug and it's like you don't feel nothing. Like this, it's like, oh God, and then think about all the goop that would squeeze out.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It'd probably be worse for the spider, Brian.
I mean, they can be pretty gooey.
It's not my problem.
I'm just like, I'm not a fan of this snake situation, only because of I don't know. I don't like watching them eat. I just don't. Like, there's this thing there kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just not. I've watched it on like nature specials and stuff like that, but when it's in front of you, it's a whole another. It's just weird.
Yeah. I'm happy with my dog right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I do highly recommend dogs.
Yeah, for sure.
Having fun with the dogs as a pet situation.
Yeah.
The only thing that drives me nuts is all the hair. Like, that's, and sometimes the farting.
I recommend having friends and family with dogs.
So you can leave them.
Yep.
Well, I keep wanting to invite Kinley up onto the couch, but Kim's like, nope, that ain't happening. Because my dog I had before her, I'd let up on, like, she slept in my bed and would sleep on the couch and, everywhere. She was allowed everywhere. And she was a husky, so she was pretty furry too.
Right.
But it wasn't like, I think Kinley's probably sheds more than she did. And she had a big undercoat. But you're right. I mean, the fur gets everywhere.
It's a little hard to keep up with. And then, if you miss a bath time, they kind of smell a little funky.
Yeah. We get her groomed on the regular, and they have this Furminator. Like, we have a gal that comes to the house, and she's got a little pet beauty shop that she pulls behind on her truck, and
nice.
It's kind of expensive, but it's does the fur that grows through her paws through the pads that gets super long. So I tried doing that one time, and it was that was a dumpster fire happening right there. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna let them do it, and so she'll be mad at them and not me.
It's tough.
Same with clipping the nails.
I don't know if I could trim the fur in between the pads on any of them, simply because they're all very like. None of them really enjoy getting their nails done. Maisie and Otto are
No.
pretty much okay. Like Maisie will jerk her paw away every once in a while, and only because she's mad that I'm taking away her weapons because she's a warrior, you know. But other than that, she gets a little pissed off at me. Otto just lays there and lets me do whatever the hell I want. Like he's fine. He doesn't care. As long as he's
just a
not in a
little lump.
position that makes him uncomfortable, he's fine. Yeah, he's a lump. And but Chewie, somebody's got to wrestle Chewie down and hold her still, and hold her legs still while I'm like holding her paw in a certain position so she's not like trying to pull the nails away and spread the pad and trim the nail at the same time.
Yeah. No thanks.
She hates it.
I've tried. It's hard. And all the time they're struggling. And it's like, I know I'd hold still. I don't want to cut too much nail off or cut too
Right.
quick or something like that. And
Well, we use a Dremel now, so that makes it a lot easier. To be fair, it makes it a lot easier.
yeah.
Because
Mine's multi-tool probably work good for that. Go ahead, put the sander on that.
yeah, real quick. But it's I don't know. I like the sander situation because then I'm not as afraid. Because, like you said, the paranoia of cutting a nail too short is all too very real.
Yeah, I did that with timber. I cut too deep, and she started bleeding. I'm like, oh my god,
Yep.
I'm fucking done with this bullshit.
I did
Yeah.
that.
So I
crazy
spent the
one.
next half hour apologizing to her. She's like, yeah, no big deal.
Yep, I did that to Maisie.
Yeah, he doesn't. He'll
They
help
have
me
these-
hold the dogs, but I do it.
They have these pliers that have a little shield on the back end, so you can only cut off like 1/8 inch at a time. But
Mm-hmm.
man, it's hard to get that thing on there just perfect. And then when you crunch down, that leaves the nail like super rough and everything. So you definitely got to file it afterwards, and that's a whole nother evolution. That's just
Yep.
too much trouble.
I agree with you.
I'm
It's
not
tough.
cut out for that.
And then Kiba is miserable about that shit. It's insane trying to deal with him and do nails. I can't. I need like 2 people to handle him while I'm trying to do his nails.
Yeah.
So he gets mad and then he shows teeth. And yeah.
He never does anything, but
No, I don't know. I question him once in a while because he hates it that much. Oh, good night, Paul.
Night, Paul.
hey, Paul.
Oh, Paul's got a whole bunch of stuff there. Didn't even see. Doesn't like fish. Oh, but his wife brings cats in.
Yeah, he
I'd
said
take
not
fish
throwing
over
any
cats.
I'll never understand owning fish. It's seriously peaceful. It's weird. There's something kind of.
Yeah, it is. You sit back there and just watch them. It's very relaxing.
But then I don't know if I could have cats ever again. I think that the litter box when I was young it was too much. I couldn't do it again. I don't think.
I don't mind cats, but yeah, like you, Chan, we had more cats than I care to even mention when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because one of the strays that we picked up ended up becoming pregnant, and my mom didn't want to get rid of any of the kittens. So next thing you know, there's like 10 cats in the house, and that was, I mean, you know what that situation's like. And I'm like, yep, I'm never owning a cat
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. It's just too much, you know. Like I don't hate cats. I like to go places where
Oh.
people have cats.
Yeah, me
You know?
neither.
I
like
just I'm good. Good without having one.
Yeah, me too.
I think if it was like an outside cat, I feel like that's a different situation. But I don't. Again, I have like I'm terrified of fleas because when you live in a trailer that small, it happens.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
You know, especially with all those animals. And we had an outbreak one year, and it was not nice. And they like me. They like me a lot.
Yeah.
I get it.
we had at my first house, Kimber got picked up some fleas one summer, and she's her stomach was white, so I was giving her a belly rub, and I seen something black like moving across. I'm like, what the fuck? And I didn't feel any on me or anything. I looked and it was a flea, so I'm like, all right, dog. Took her outside, gave her, I went down to the store, bought all these flea bombs and all this shit, and watched her outside, and it was like a nuclear holocaust going on in my house, all these foggers and crap, and
Yeah.
stayed at my brother's and came back and no more fleas.
That's a
But
plus.
that's just, you live in the woods, they're there, it's almost unavoidable.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's like we lived in the woods, to be fair. It's definitely the area itself was not very highly populated. A lot of trees.
Yeah.
But
Not by humans anyway.
right.
Ticks too, I'm always looking out for those things.
Yeah.
Luckily I don't think we have, at least where I live, there hasn't been that big of a problem, but where my dad lived, which is only about an hour or so away, Jesus Christ, these things were everywhere.
Yeah, we just watch out,
Yeah.
The dogs get treated for stuff and, we just try to be careful.
Yeah, we get those drops.
Yeah. I just don't I know I have a sensitivity to it. My sister and I had a conversation. Mindy and I had talked about this because she does as well, and no one else in our family does. And she's like, I can go someplace and within 15 minutes know if somebody has fleas because they're on me. It happens really fast. Yeah. And where Dad lives now, there's ground fleas.
Ground fleas.
Yeah, because wild animals, you're in the woods, ground fleas happen. They're just there. Like sand fleas, if you live at the beach.
Yeah, I know what those are. Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing, but it's it's in the ground instead. So there's a lot of animal care he has to worry about because he has a couple of cats and now he has a little baby dog. Which I don't. It's whatever. Teacup Yorkie. He has a teacup Yorkie.
Yorkie.
Yeah.
They're funny dogs.
It's like a 4-pound dog,
Yeah.
4-pound
dog with a 20-pound attitude.
Right. And we have Maisie and Otto, and they're like 20, 30-pound dogs, and they're small. And I'm like, I cannot imagine having a 4-pound dog walking around my house because I almost trip over Maisie and Otto, like in the kitchen especially. I will trip over any one of our four dogs, and Chewy's like 90 pounds, and she'll sit right behind me, and I'll trip right over her. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine having some like little 4-pound thing running around my feet all day long. I would probably follow my face. Like, it would be so bad.
I've had some bad wipeouts trying to avoid stepping on a dog, and then have completely fallen on my face.
Yeah,
knuckles all banged up and shit, and I'm like, motherfucker, and I look over and the dog is all wagging its tail at you, like, hey, what's up?
Hey,
hey, I've been here the whole time.
Yeah. You trying to play with me?
Yeah, it's like, dude, you just ran a fucking red light, man. I'm on my ass.
Yeah, it gets a little chaotic, especially if I'm out in the kitchen cooking for a little while. They all think they're getting something from me. And nine times out of 10, to be fair, I have a hard time saying no to Otto. He just sits there all cute in the kitchen and stares at me the whole time. I'm like, buddy.
Yeah. I'm the biggest sucker for that. Every time I go into the kitchen, I turn around, I could feel Kinley's eyes on me. I turn around, she starts wagging her tail. It's like, you don't get a treat every single time I come into the kitchen. And then I always end up giving one anyway.
But Dad.
Yeah, look how cute I am.
Look.
Yeah. They all do that to me. As soon as they hear me open the drawer that the cheese is in.
Oh, yeah. What is it with the cheese anyway?
I don't know.
I'll be in the kitchen. I'll be making something like, say, like a taco salad or something. I'll have get the lettuce, which is in a Ziploc. Everything's in a Ziploc bag,
right?
And it's like crickets. And then I open the one that has the cheese in it. Bam, she's right there.
Right,
like she can smell the cheese opening. It's like,
yep.
At the speed of light, the smell from the cheese goes upstairs, and she's down there.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Ours are the same way.
They love their
With
cheese.
the cheese. Peanut butter too. Like
Yeah.
you get a jar of peanut butter out, or it's time for Otto's medicine because he gets his medicine with peanut butter.
Yeah.
Like right there. Right there. All of them. Where's my cheese? Where's my peanut butter?
Yeah. We do that
No.
with cheese. We'll break a little chunk off and put the pill inside the cheese and kind of wad it up a little ball and just swallow
Yeah,
that thing up. And
we
we're
did the
thinking we're
cheese
so slick because we're fooling her into swallowing her pill, but I think she's looking at us like, I know you're going to make me swallow but I'm going to get the cheese too. So you're the real, who's the
idiot?
fool?
Yeah, who's the
Who's
fool?
the sucker here?
Yeah. I know. I get that impression from ours too. And I'm like, God, you guys can't win all the time. And they just look at me like, really?
But,
Are you sure?
but,
Because seems a little bit like maybe we are.
Yeah.
but you love us.
Yeah. I do like having pets though. It is nice. It just was a lot growing up, that's all. And that happens. It's no big deal. You learn a lot when you have experiences like that as a young person.
Sure. Yep.
Well, guys, it's almost 11:30 here on the East Coast. Mike, I mean, I'm sure you're starving right now. Isn't it about dinner time for you?
Yeah. I got to go down and make something low in sugar
Sodium.
for dinner.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
sugar.
was warned from the nurse today. She goes, your blood sugar's up kind of high. You might want to get it down for the surgery because if it's too high, they're going to cancel the surgery. I'm like, okay, shit. So what, water and rice cakes? She goes, no, just keep it down. And I don't ever check my blood sugar. So
you gotta, I think with that, you gotta watch like your carbohydrates.
Yeah, carbs. Yeah, that's what cancels it too.
Other than that, I think you're okay. You can pretty much eat anything. Just like watch how much bread, pasta, stuff like that you're eating.
Yep.
You know, but it should be good. I hope your surgery goes well.
Thanks.
Yeah, man.
Did
He
you?
said
Go ahead.
Oh, he said it's pretty easy, standard thing. He's been doing it for a long time, so I'm like, all right.
Cool.
Like he's cutting a hole in my head or anything. So.
Brian, did you hurt yourself?
I got glue on my hands.
Oh, I hate that.
I was dealing with super glue. And, yeah, so I'm just wanted to wash my hands. There's a couple spots on here. Just try to take it off.
Gotta love super glue. Well, Mike, you wanna show everybody where you finished off and I don't know. Tell them where they can find you.
Pretty much all the bits that I showed you earlier have a wash on them. So it's nothing new really.
Just a little.
Yeah. You can't.
A little
really
more details.
Like on the yellow part on her chin, I did a wash, and you can see the little suckers on her tentacles and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. This is cool. It's fun.
So I'll probably end up. The wash kind of got in. I mean, it made it a little muddy in the front, which always discourages me. But I put it on like a flat surface. Doesn't take wash. I'm still haven't mastered the whole wash thing yet. Like sometimes it succeeds and sometimes it's a massive failure. That's what I was talking about. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But this turned out good. That's a little bit got in there in the fins to give it a little definition. I'll probably dry brush the yellow tip a little bit and see what happens.
Yeah.
The good thing about paint is you can always paint over it.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
But
you can't really take it off, but you can add more.
Yeah. But yeah, Mike Wells on Facebook and here every other Wednesday and Monday and Tuesday in the chats at Into the Realm. And what are they having? What's the show called, Brian?
STCC.
Yeah, they don't do breaking the mold anymore, right?
Oh, no.
Do you even transform?
Bro,
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Yeah.
do you
do
even
that?
transform, bro?
Yeah, that's on Tuesdays now instead, right?
I don't know.
Well,
Yep.
it depends.
I think it
It's
just is
definitely
like
not
a
on Monday.
no,
It's definitely not on Wednesday.
no.
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 So
So it might just
definitely
pop
on
up. I
Facebook
don't
and
know.
Dev Chat on Monday. So,
Wait,
Yep.
Brian.
Sometimes
Offered
on
you-
the
Oh,
Round
go ahead.
Project.
That's a good show. These guys are awesome.
I'm done.
Okay,
Yeah, it's funny.
Brian.
Funny guys.
How'd you do tonight? You were having quite a good time. I was having fun watching you.
Yeah. So,
Get that
well, I
project
got
going.
got half the bottom of the trailer sawed off. Just gonna leave that on there.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I can always come back and revisit that part later. I don't really care. My main goal here is to get it so that the trailer turns. But yeah, and then I made a template, and then I cut out some of that 1 millimeter, or I think it's 1 millimeter styrene.
Nice.
Might be 2. I can't remember. And so I made a plate to go on the back to cover up the hollow parts that were left. And I just glued that on. And next step will be to measure where the peg goes.
Mm-hmm.
So I know where to drill the hole into
Right.
this part. So I gotta figure that out. I think I might do something like maybe do a Sharpie on the bottom of this peg and then pop it down on here so I can see where it lands. Maybe that's how I know where I want it to be.
That's how you do it.
That's a
You
good
got it.
good idea.
Yep.
Looks like I'm gonna have to cut this peg off because it's hitting where. Oh,
You got that fancy tool, man. You can
Yep.
pop that
You
right
got just
off.
a tool for that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I'll save that for next time. But one of the things I did was I wanted to see if this works, so just indulge me here for a second. I got a little polystyrene straw type thing, and I want to see if I measured right. I did not,
Oh.
but fuck. I want to make this peg longer, but
Yeah.
the peg is exactly the same width as this styrene thingy bob. So I don't know. Maybe with some elbow grease, I can kind of jam it in. Maybe if I heat it up, I'd be able to get the peg
So
into
there's two
it.
things you can do. You can either sand the polystyrene. Is it like a solid rod?
No. It's got a hole in it
It's hollow.
because I wanted this peg to fit inside there. I would just pop it on and then cut it, and it would give me a longer, like, connection point. But I guess maybe if I heat this up, I'll be able to push it over the peg. Maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
It's either that or I have some square. I don't want to put a square one in there though. I mean,
How close is it to
a
going?
square peg in a round hole will still swivel, you know.
How close is that to going on, Brian? Is it?
No, they're
Does it
exactly
feel
the
like-
same size, unfortunately. And you know, I was kind of thinking that because I measured this quickly this morning, because I was gonna hit Hobby Lobby after work, and I did. They don't make this in a larger diameter, at least not at Hobby Lobby. They don't. So, but maybe I'll look online if they've got, because this is a 1/4 inch. If they have anything that's a little bit bigger, and this stuff's really cheap. I mean, it's like $1.
Yeah. Definitely check Amazon. I found some good stuff on Amazon.
Yeah.
They have some decent craft supplies, and then I did find a decent craft store that we order our glue from. I can't remember the name of it right now off the top of my head. But definitely check Amazon, because I feel like when I looked on Amazon for, craft supplies or, whatever it is that we're doing at the time, it kind of led me to that craft store because I was looking for the cheaper price.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking Hobbytown.
Hobbytown, yeah, Hobbytown. They have a decent website. They're quick shipping. Their prices are, I want to say, $3 cheaper than almost anywhere else or more on a lot of things. So
That's pretty good.
I like
I
to
would
save a
love
buck.
if this
Yeah,
like
no doubt.
tailgate could flip down, but that's not happening. But yeah, man, dude, we're getting there. Dude, I'll be able to drive this and swivel it.
Nice.
And have popcorn and a drink.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe I could make a styrene liner for it, because I'm not messing this up with popcorn.
Oh yeah,
Clean
that's a
this
good
thing.
idea.
But yeah, so that's where I made it, how I made it.
That's great,
That's
Brian.
how far I made it.
Nice.
I'm loving it so far. I can't wait to see it finished.
Yeah, you're definitely
Yeah, I can't wait to see
looking
what
good.
how the blue looks. Let's see.
And tell the fine people where they can find you, Brian.
Oh, at Brinklizer on Instagram, making charts for cats lairs, and hanging out here and on Enter the Realm on Mondays, doing the robot segment,
Ah, robots.
making trailers. Optimus. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome, Brian.
Back
And
to the air.
I'm Chan. I got some good headway on this project I'm working on, so I'm feeling pretty good about it so far. Didn't start
Yeah.
out how I wanted it to, but I think I'm kind of like, I'm working with it. So it's good.
You ain't
I
gonna
think it's
show
gonna be good.
anybody? You ain't gonna show your progress?
No, not right now.
No.
I need a little more time. A little more, I need to get a little further, and then I will, sure. But yeah. I'm Chan. You can find me, Chandra Cooper, on Facebook if you're looking. I will be your friend. Maybe. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll think about it.
Mhm.
If my weird little world won't offend you, I will be your friend. Anyway. Yeah, you can find me Monday nights on ETR, running the chat, making goofy faces, playing with tiny hands, and eating gummies. And you can find me here with you guys every other Wednesday. Hopefully next Wednesday I'll have some progress to show you guys. The next Wednesday. Not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after.
The
The next
gravy.
gravy time.
Yeah. I'm getting tired, guys. The gummies are kicking in. I gotta go to bed. JD, how far did you get done what you needed to do tonight? What you wanted to do?
Yep. So I got 2 of these done.
Ooh.
Just gotta clear coat them.
Those look good.
That's pretty cool.
Focus.
Yeah.
Progress.
Put it in front of your hand. There you go. That's fun.
Anyway, got 2 of those done. And I got the finishing touches on this little guy.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
wow.
That looks great.
Cool.
Articulated gonk legs.
I dig it. That's fun.
Looks good, man.
And then, of course, I got base coat on this pauldron. Yes, it's white. And then,
Aha. So that's where the pauldron goes.
Oh boy, look at that.
Nice.
That looks good. I like it.
so I got a red border to put around his shoulders and the 72. And I don't know. I'll probably put the fridge on the back. But
Looks
yeah,
good, man.
did his boots all up with some stripes and yeah.
Nice. That looks really. It does look really
Yeah.
good.
That
I'm
does.
really happy with like that came out pretty clean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Does
And I
look
just
good.
did that by hand.
Nice.
So yeah, that's what I did.
3/16 is pretty small, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That's smaller than 1/4 of an inch, correct?
1/16 smaller.
Yeah.
It's 3/16.
3/16. Is that smaller than a 1/4 inch?
Yes. It's 1/16
about-
smaller.
Smaller than a 1/4. Right. Yeah.
So
That
what
makes
about
sense.
3/8? How big is 3/8? Is that smaller than 1/4 of an inch?
No, that's an eighth
No,
inch bigger than a 1/4 inch.
Yeah.
Ah, so that's
Uh-huh.
what I need. That might do it.
I was trying to think of something you could glue to the bottom of that trailer, and it would a nice sleeve to go onto something else you could glue to the chassis of the truck, but nothing's coming.
Yeah. We save a lot of plastic bits of things.
Yeah, that would be
Unless we have like weird
like
stuff to use for
a
that.
piece of PVC would slide into another piece of PVC, like the next size down. That'd probably work pretty good. I'm not know how small they make it though.
Not that small.
Yeah.
I keep trying to think of like a ball that could slide over to help it pivot, you know.
Yeah.
What about
I've even
Yeah.
used like pins for, you know, like sewing, not needles, but like the pins you would pin stuff together to sew. I've used those, like the ones that are little balls, for the ends of hinges
Oh yeah.
on things before. Like sometimes you just have to look for the right thing. You never know what you'll find, even in your refrigerator. I'm serious.
If you have do you have paintbrushes? Because they come with these little things.
Oh yeah, the little plastic sleeve.
Sometimes.
Oh, I don't have anything like that. No.
And, they're all different sizes and anyway.
French's mustard cap, you could just like glue it upside down and then it has like the little hole and
I mean, I could.
sorry.
Yeah, maybe I'll look around the kitchen, see what I got.
I'm kind of an idiot. I'm sort of dumb. You don't have to listen to me. I'm just like I was talking about putting displays in fish tanks 2 weeks ago. Come on. Don't listen to me.
I mean, you know, your Optimus Prime, your popcorn soda Optimus Prime is held together by condiment
Nozzles
nozzles.
and
Condiment.
bits.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, guys, time to say goodnight. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Take care, everyone.
See you later. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye bye.
See ya.
ya.